Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be talking about some of the best steps to prepare for the trading week. This is also a video that is going to be useful to me also, as it will help me to remain consistent. So before we begin, as usual, we'll just pray. God, we just thank you again for your goodness and for your blessings. We ask that you will just continue to be with us, help our trading experience to continue to improve. I pray for anyone watching this video, may it be instrumental to them in helping them to improve also. Thank you. And we love you. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, guys, so let's go right into it. So as I mentioned to you, the best steps to prepare for the trading week. I have started to utilize these steps, and they have actually helped me to become a better trader, as this is a continuous process. As you have always heard me mention, it's a marathon and not a sprint. So each week you actually improve on your strengths and you actually delete your weaknesses. So the first step, let's just get right into it. The first thing that you want to do is to review last week's performance. As you will have noticed, I've started posting more videos that actually highlights the strengths and the weaknesses of each trade that we have taken, and also the justification for what is done. So you actually want to make sure that you keep a journal, whether it is electronic or whether it's a physical journal. You want to actually keep a journal to review last week's performance. So you want to analyze your trades. As I mentioned before, you want to review your trading journal for the past week. You want to identify those things that worked well and what didn't. And you also want to note any patterns, mistakes, and successful strategies. So one of the things that this has helped me to do is that I realized over the past number of months into weeks, I was able to analyze and realize that each time when I actually took a loss was when I actually sold the NASDAQ 100. And the reason for that, as I mentioned in some of my previous videos, the NASDAQ is a historically bullish instrument, which means you're going to be trading from your higher lows to your higher highs. So once I made that adjustment, I actually saw a significant improvement in the entries and in the trades that I was actually able to take. The next thing that you want to do is to evaluate market conditions. Look at how the market performed overall. Was it bearish this week? Was it bullish this week? Were my major moves coming through my buys, or were the retracements harder than would normally occur? And you also want to identify any major news events or economic data releases that influence the market movements. Now, what I want to actually mention, as I've said in previous videos, I don't trade news. And by that, I mean, I don't react to news. I look at the market structure, and news happens within the market structure. So what I actually will do when I look at economic data and news events is that I want to make sure that I'm not entering the trade just before the news comes out. Okay, so I want to see structure formed and completed before I enter. And news usually tends to drive the price towards the structure that you're waiting on for entry. Okay, the next thing that you want to do is to update your trading plan. You want to adjust your goals and your strategies. Remember, I said it's a marathon, not a sprint. Each week, as you review, you will see steps that you have taken before in the past that worked well, and other steps that you may want to actually delete from your trading plan. So as you update a trading plan, you'll be able to adjust your goals and your strategies. And you want to also make sure that you update, excuse me, update your risk management rules. You want to make sure that you're not over leveraging. You may review this plan and you may realize over time that, hey, you know what? Maybe it's time for me to scale up. So you want to make sure that you are adjusting your goals and your strategies. The next thing that you want to do is you want to set clear objectives. So you want to set achievable goals. So you might say, okay, you know what? I want to grow my account this week by 50% or 20%. Make sure it's achievable based on the level that you're at. Okay, and make sure that these goals align with your trading plan. So, for example, you don't want to set a goal to say, okay, fine, I want to make 5,000% on my account this week. Okay, but you have a trading plan that basically is going against the trend, which means you're going for the retracements instead of the trend moves. So you want to make sure that your objectives align perfectly with your trading plan. The next thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you conduct proper market analysis. So you want to look at your fundamentals. As I mentioned before, you want to look at upcoming economic data. Is this going to be a week where you have the non-farm payroll coming out? Is this going to be a week when you're going to have inflation data, PCI report, things like these? You want to make sure that you analyze. You also want to understand how these events will impact the market and also your trade. Okay. The next thing that you want to do, which is very important for me, I stress that heavily, is technical analysis. You want to always be analyzing your charts. Okay. So if you're trading the NASDAQ 100, you literally want to be analyzing your charts. Make sure that you understand what drives the market, what happens at particular times in the market. You also want to make sure that you identify key support levels of support and resistance. Okay, you want to look for trends, you want to look for certain patterns. This only comes through technical analysis. Okay. And the next thing that you want to do, continuing with the market analysis, you also want to make sure that you're trading with the market sentiment. What that means is, guess what? If the market is bullish, like I have mentioned to you, that NASDAQ is a bullish instrument, you don't necessarily want to be focusing on sells. What you want to be doing is you want to be patient and waiting for your buys so that you can go to your higher highs. Okay. And there are certain things, like, for example, there's the commitment of traders report. You want to understand how that plays into the markets and everything. And you can do additional reading on this on Google. I don't necessarily pay much attention to this. What I really want to do is to make sure that I'm going with market sentiment and not against market sentiment. All right. Moving on, you want to actually prepare your watch list. So a number of you trade different pairs, different instruments. For me, I only trade the NASDAQ 100. So for me, I'm only looking at the NASDAQ 100. I do have other investments though, that other stocks that I'm watching that I buy for long term. I just buy those and hold those. So you really want to update your watch list and you want to make sure that everything is going accordance to the plan that you have. And you want to make sure that you focus on those clear trends, looking for key support levels, for support and resistance, and also tying those in with upcoming events. The other thing that you want to do is to set alerts. So for example, if I am trading higher lows to higher highs, what I want to be doing is, if I'm looking at a particular time frame and I'm looking for that particular time frame to come down to make a higher low, what I want to ensure is that I set my alert to go off when a higher low is hit, let's say on the 4-hour time frame. Okay. And then once that alert is hit, then I want to basically go in and make sure that all my other conditions are met. Okay. So you want to actually be setting your alerts. Now, the next thing that you want to be doing is you want to plan your trades. So again, looking at everything, we want to ensure that we are taking higher lows to higher highs. And in order to do that, you have to plan ahead. So you have to plan for those time frames that are coming down to make those higher lows. You want to make sure that you set your alerts so that you can actually get your entry points. So this actually helps you to determine precise entry and exit points. And you're also using different technical indicators and chart patterns to confirm these points. Just a quick note on indicators. Remember, I mentioned to you before in previous videos, I don't use indicators to tell me when to buy. Indicators actually confirm what I'm seeing on the charts based on the technical analysis that I've done. You also want to set your stop loss and take profit levels. Now, whether it is a virtual stop loss, which I use, or a physical stop loss, you want to be setting your stop loss based on what you have seen the market been doing. And the only way for you to actually see that is by doing constant analysis. You want to make sure that these rules align with your current risk management rules. The other thing, in addition to planning those trades, you want to make sure that your risk to reward ratio meets your criteria. Okay. You want to avoid very risky trades. So if you're looking for higher lows to higher highs, and you see that the market is making higher lows, higher highs, don't try to actually take a sell from a lower high to go down to a low or whatever it is, because that's going against the trend. So you want to plan your trades correctly. All right. The other thing that you want to do is to prepare mentally and physically. You want rest and relaxation. You want to be extremely comfortable. You want to be rested on the weekend. Avoid trading if you're feeling stressed and fatigued. Okay. The other thing that you want to do is make sure that you're focused and disciplined. If you are a Christian, you want to make sure that you practice prayer. You want to make sure that you have meditation going to improve your focus and your emotional control. And you also want to reaffirm your commitment to sticking to your trading plan and rules. This is very, very important. Every single time that I've lost a trade, it's because I went against my trading plan and my rules. And many of you out there can attest to this. You want to make sure that you're sticking to your plan and sticking to your rules. That comes with practice. That comes with consistency in sticking to your plan. All right. Then also you want to do your technical preparations. You want to make sure your computer is working. You want to make sure that the trading platform is functioning properly. You also want to make sure that you have a backup plan in case you have any technical issues. We don't live in a perfect world. Things can happen. So you want to make sure that you have a backup plan in case any of these unforeseen activities pop up. You want to make sure that you have the correct software. You want to make sure that your charting software, whether you use TradingView, which is what I used, you want to make sure it's working and everything is up to date. All right. The other thing you want to do is to make sure that you stay informed. You will need to understand what's going on. A good place to actually stay informed with what's happening on the market is the Bloomberg news channel. Give you an example. I was watching the Bloomberg last week, and I saw that they were talking about the triple witching day. Okay, never heard of that, but when I did some research on it, I realized that it actually tied in with a number of things that I've seen in the past that happen on the third Friday of every month. And that's an increase in volume and volatility. And of course, that triple witching actually explained to me what it is that I was seeing that was an unexplained event for me at the time. You also want to make sure that you follow financial websites, blogs, social media accounts, and everything, just to stay informed with what's happening in the market. Next thing you want to do, I mentioned this before, you want to pay attention to your economic calendar. You want to understand what's going on in the market, what is going to be driving volume, what is going to create volatility in the market, and make sure that you plan ahead for these events. All right. Moving right along, just to summarize everything, you want to make sure that you follow all of these steps. As you approach the trading week, you want to make sure that you're well prepared. You want to make sure that you have consistent preparation. You want to make sure that you do your analysis. You want to make sure that you're disciplined. And once you actually do this and understand that trading is a continuous learning process, and you will be learning as you go along, and you will be dropping some old habits in favor of more updated habits. Then you'll become a more successful trader. So I hope this video has helped someone, and you can always feel free to go back and review, like, share, and subscribe. And like I mentioned to you, I will be posting more content which is going to be beneficial to everyone. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.